All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Chris Quinteros, let's get to it. Now, some random little things that come to my head that I think you guys should know about the trades, the unions. So power tools. A lot of people have been asking me, like, do I need to bring a skill saw, a rotor hammer, a sawzall, so on and so forth. And no, the companies that you work for should provide them. Now, maybe after you journey out, maybe you would want to have your own personal power tools, but the company that you do work for should already have them. They should provide you also gloves, safety glasses, and a vest. That's the bare minimum that your company should provide. And obviously water. Stay hydrated, unless they want you guys to faint. Then hey, that's your guys' company. But at least that's the bare minimum that your companies should give you. Certain companies will have you bring your tools every day. So when you come home, you bring your tools from home and then take them back with you after you're done with your shift. Now there's other companies, depending if you're with a general contractor such as myself, where you're able to bring your bags, your tools, and then you're able to leave them inside a Connex, inside of a gang box that they call, and it's safely secured and everything, so it's a little bit more difficult for someone to break in. And at the same time, when you come back home, when you come back to work the next day, you don't have to bring it from the house or put it inside the trunk of your vehicle, so on and so forth. And it saves a hassle of bringing your tools because they're already there. Now, something that I kind of thought was interesting that I didn't know was plumbers and electricians, at least from what I've seen. Those are the two pretty dominant, and also HVAC guys, heat, ventilation, air conditioning, work 7-hour shifts.
Oh, say less.
So they don't get paid for 8, they work 7-hour shifts and they get paid for 7. So I just want to get that clear. I didn't know that, and at first I was just kind of like, man, you might as well should get the 8 hours. Like, I don't know why working 35 hours a week is gonna help you out or whatever. But plumbers, electricians, and HVAC guys get paid a little bit more than the regular hunt trades, as carpenters, laborers, cement masons, iron workers, so on and so forth. And I will do a separate video on that as well. Saturdays, if you were to work Saturdays, you get paid time and a half. So say you're getting paid $30 an hour, you're gonna get paid 30 plus 15, because that's half of 30. And then you're gonna get paid $45 for every hour that you work on Saturday. And then if you work on Sunday, it's double time. So if you're getting paid 30, you're gonna get paid 60 for every hour. So 6 times 8 is 48, and then you just add a 0, so then you're gonna get paid 480. And then Uncle Sam comes in and says, hey, thank you so much for working that Sunday for me. But you know, just little things here and there. Now, if you don't have anything to do and you're able to help out the company, then I would recommend doing overtime. Now, this is my ideology, this is my personal opinion. I'm not saying that it's right, I'm not saying that it's wrong. It's up to you to decide what you personally want to do. In terms of overtime, for me now, when I first started, I take it as much as I can. Now, I don't want money, I don't want to work for money. I truly believe that modern day slavery is a 9-to-5 job.
Well, duh.
8 to 4 job, 7 to 3 job, an 8-hour job. And you go to that job and you don't like doing it, but you go for it because the pay is good. So I've honestly gotten to the point where I want all of that money that I've worked for to work for me now. So instead of me chasing money, I want money to chase me now, like to work for me. So overtime isn't as big or as exciting or motivating for me as it used to be, because of what I just explained. I truly believe that you can always make money, but you can't make up for time.
Oh my God!
Just to kind of like have your neurons working a little bit and just be like, you know, that's interesting, I've never thought of it that way. Or if you're the hardcore guy, like, man, whatever you're talking about, like, I'm gonna work every single overtime that I can get, because while I'm young, I'm gonna get in, because when I get old, I know I'm not gonna have the same energy. Or, you know, I'm gonna have kids, so on and so forth. Because you gotta think about it this way, like, if you're a dad, if you're a mother, and you're in the trades, and then you're doing overtime, you're gonna give more priority to your job. You may have a beautiful house, but maybe you may lack that relationship that you want with your wife, with your husband, with your children. And honestly, it leads to points, unfortunately, where there's infidelity or there's divorces because someone is more in love or more of a commitment to their job, to their career, than to their family. And to each their own, you know. And there's people who've done overtime and then they can still handle all of that marriage and matrimony things. But from my humble opinion, overtime isn't as appealing to me as it used to be. But and also another kind of like little small random little thing that maybe it may not come to mind, but it's like those small little finite details that help you out so much. If you're coming from work and your shoes are going to be dusty, then you have to understand that like if you're driving a really nice car like your Audi or your Mustang or your Corvette, you're going to have to understand that it's going to get dirty unless you have already another set of clothes in the trunk, and then you take off your shoes, you take off your shirt, you change your shirt, I don't know, you changed your pants in some miracle way in the porta potty. So then, you know, you just kind of have to kind of like understand that you possibly may be dirtying your vehicle, which you would assume that I would think about, but it's like, oh my gosh, I didn't really think about it until like doing it so many times. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm pretty dirty. I'm going to mess up my car and it has leather seats, so on and so forth. Say that you live in San Francisco, California, and you're working in San Francisco, there can be a possibility that they'll send you to a different city with the same company, but just a different city to do a different detail. So say for example, today I'm working in San Francisco, and then tomorrow they'll be like, hey, we need you in San Jose, California, which is like a 40-minute drive from San Francisco, and you're gonna be here for 3 days. So then you'll be back to your original job site on Thursday and Friday. And that can happen depending on the necessity of the company. If a foreman used to work for you and he really wants you and he likes how you work, then he'll call you over. So that can happen. Also, I have a lot of friends who work one day in Oakland, California, and then the next day they're working in Richmond. The other week they're working in Concord. So there can be a mixed variety of locations depending on your company. So just kind of be aware of that, and maybe if you have a Corvette, to maybe buy a more economical or have a more gas-friendly vehicle, eco-friendly vehicle, such as a Prius, possibly a Tesla to a certain extent, a Honda, a Toyota Corolla, so on and so forth. So I just kind of want you to start seeing things from a different perspective, and those little small things are going to help you out. Also, just a nice little nugget out there for you guys who are going to commute. You may have to wake up a lot earlier to commute to your job that's an hour or 30 minutes, hour and 30 minutes away. So a lot of people come extremely early and then they sleep 2 hours right there nearby the job site, and then they wake up, they have their little powwow, and they start getting to work, and then they drive back home. And a lot of people pack extra food so then they don't have to go purchase anything while they're driving back home for that long commute, and they pack extra snacks so then they're eating as they're driving. So these are just little random facts that I wanted to let you guys know, and the more that they pop up into my brain, the more then I will start sharing this knowledge with you. Thank you guys so much. All the honor, glory be to God. Dios me lo bendiga. Saluda mi gente. Till next time. Ciao.